Well, what's something that people don't realize about being an independent filmmaker, but being Black and queer? Because I feel like we always touch on, okay, like, the struggles of a Black woman, of a Black male, but then now you've added this extra layer, which for some people could be great, and for others it presents more challenges.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think definitely for being Black and queer and an indie filmmaker, sometimes it's a little hard for people to take you seriously, especially if you are in a femme presenting body or are just in a either non-binary presenting body. Um, it's just sometimes people are just a little bit more not as understanding to understanding your experience, but it's also that we don't have a lot of examples, unfortunately, because of the way our world has worked so far. And so I think people still are not investing as much money as they can. I mean, we've had amazing things like Moonlight, Watermelon Woman, and things along the line, but it's very few and far in between. And so more and queer stories should be invested in. We should be putting more money into that sort of thing. I'm trying my best not to go on a tangent and ramble away, but
Feel free
um,
if you need to.
thank you. But essentially, being a queer filmmaker is making stories that feel true to you. And I think for a lot of queer filmmakers that I have spoken to, a lot of the stories that do get picked up, or a lot of the stories that get a lot of attention, are stories of strife, of struggle. And those do have a place and are important. But we want to see as well Black queer love, Black queer silliness and whimsy. We want to see Black queer joy. We want to see the other assets and faces that is Black queer life and just Black life in general. There is so much more than our struggles, and I think that as an indie filmmaker, sometimes it's hard to get those stories out there, but I see so many talented people doing stuff on YouTube and making reels and doing little skits, and that's their way of how they are getting those stories out there. And I just hope that people put their money where their mouth is and invest in those stories because those are really important.
Now, when we think about investing in these stories, I also think about creating a safe space or creating a community. How can people contribute to building these kind of spaces and having their stories told and shared?
Absolutely. The power of social media is a great way of creating community. I've seen so many great people who I'll take an example of, this is not the best example, but the example of Obsession. Like, people have taken that movie and created their own skits based on the film and created sort of a cult following about it. Do the same with your favorite movies. Make a letterbox and talk about how much you love this movie. Make a podcast and talk about these kind of stories that you want to hear and talk to the filmmakers if you can. I am definitely one of those people that if I see a movie I love, I'll find out who the director is. And if they're a local director, I'll just DM them and be like, hey, this was really great. But just talking about those things that excite us, like those films that excite us and make us feel something, and going to the theater or going to that screening and bringing that money in to show that the decision makers that we want to see these films because those guys respond to numbers. And so when we come out in droves, when we talk about it online, when we make skits about it, or we make a Substack little article about it, or we just talk to our friends about it, and we go to see those movies. That's what they respond to, and that's what gives them the data to say, okay, you know what? Maybe we're going to make more of these, or we're going to invest in more of these. A great example is Heated Rivalry. Like, that was a queer story that people invested in and had such a cult following from it, and people loved it so much that now they're ready on season two. Let's do that for Black queer folks too. Let's talk about it. Let's make fun with it, and let's create a friendship with it, and just invest in it and go see it. Definitely go and see those movies. Go to the theaters. Theaters is such a lost art. So if you can, go to the theaters, go to the screening.
Definitely, definitely support. I have to be biased. Go to the screenings, go out to your local film festivals. It doesn't matter where it is. Get a ticket, get your popcorn. It's a good night out with your friends, with your family. If it's a
Exactly.
solo date,
Love a solo date.
yes. Like these are the things we need to do.